Huh.
What will we know tonight?
Wait, no, tonight the exit pollsters. What the pollsters are saying and what's the poll of polls. And many people are saying there's only one party that even now, after all this, stands a semblance of a chance to become the
Single largest party.
party with majority. Single largest party, two parties had the chance. Only one party has a chance to even get to majority. Do the pollsters?
Yeah, AI's gotten pretty crazy.
Just reminds me of like
Well, I think the backward, for the backward classes, whether you're, poor Muslim or poor OBC or poor Dalit, he was being seen as some kind of a messiah. He's the guy who came up with the Ahinda concept.
correct.
So I think that will play a role as well. For
And
sure.
interestingly, what has happened is that in these elections, the Congress party has realized that they are best if they play the role as a regional force. So the Congress party, while it retains its national party status, realizes that the only way to take on the BJP might and machinery and the popularity of the Prime Minister Modi is by becoming regional, by becoming local. So this election is also a test of local versus national when we look at the larger
Did that all
picture.
change towards the
Yes.
last lap? The
Yes,
last
so the
200
elections.
meters, 25th to the 9th, did that, to the 8th, did that all change? Harish Upadhyay is with us. Harish, first up, kudos to you, to your team, and everybody on ground. I must give a shout out to everyone who's on ground. Rohini, yourself, Ritu, Aman, and also Pallavi. All of you have done some phenomenal work. But let me ask you, as the dust settles, is the voter turnout encouraging? Is it higher than 2018? Will we have a clear leader with a clear mandate?
Well, thanks, Anand. Look at the voter percentage at 5. It's around 65%. And looks like it might just probably cross the last time voting percentage and end up or settle down anywhere around 73-74%, which means there is no significant change in the voter turnout. So who will it benefit? That's one question. The other aspect that we'll have to see here is how some of the crucial regions have voted. The Congress believes Hyderabad, Karnataka will be a game changer for them. Whether it's Siddaramaiah or others who have spoken to are saying we will sweep that region. They got 20 seats last time round. They're hoping for extra, and they're saying that region SC left in favor, SC right, beg your pardon, in favor of the Congress party, and that will ensure they cross the halfway mark. That's the Congress's belief. The BJP saying we will change the entire dynamics of Karnataka election forever and ensure that the state votes on same lines, whether it's Assembly or Lok Sabha. It will be development that will matter for people.
It is a huge ask for them, especially with B.S. Yediyurappa not in active electoral policy or politics, plus that shift of some of the big faces, Jagdish Shettar, Lakshman Saudhi, some of the others. Is that going to hurt them? Central Karnataka, Bombay Karnataka, and in South, especially the Bengaluru region, that's where the BJP, and coastal Karnataka, that's where they have tried to really focus and push. But region-wise, over to the man on the wall.
Yeah, I think Harish made a great point. I think North Karnataka, which generally has tended to favor the BJP, and you can look at both the Bombay Karnataka region as well as the Hyderabad Karnataka region. I'm just going to play that out in our filter here. Let's take Mumbai Karnataka as well as Hyderabad Karnataka. And if you look at how the BJP managed to sort of swing it, there was a 10-seat difference between the Congress and the BJP. Even though the vote share difference was only 2, this is really the sort of swing area, if you will. This is where the BJP managed to get its nose ahead of the Congress in 2018. If you were to go back and check how this region, these two regions, Bombay Karnataka and Hyderabad Karnataka, voted in 2013, again, look at the difference. The Congress was at 50 seats, the BJP only at 17. The Congress, there was a 13-point difference in vote share. They swept both Hyderabad Karnataka and to a great extent Mumbai Karnataka as well. And that's why the victory of 122 in 2013 was possible, because this North Karnataka region, both Hyderabad Karnataka as well as Mumbai Karnataka, was swept by the Congress in 2013. But in 2018 was a different picture. As far as the BJP is concerned, 2 other areas which are critical for them are central, because again, because of the Lingayat vote, Yediyurappa comes from Shimoga, that's right in the heart of the state. And then, of course, you have coastal, which is the so-called the laboratory of Hindutva, Udupi, Mangaluru, Dakshin Kannada, those belts. Again, both central and coastal, you will see that the BJP swept last time around. Take a look at this. Out of 56 seats, the BJP had 42. The Congress only had 14. And the vote share difference also, almost 8% vote share difference between the BJP and the Congress. The JDS had 0 seats. 0 seats in these belts. In fact, in coastal Karnataka, out of 21 seats, I think other than 1 seat, Mangaluru South, which UT Kadar won, everything else was BJP. Every seat was BJP. Will that change in this election? Because remember, here, this belt also, they changed a lot of their candidates. I think 7 or 8 candidates out of those 21 they changed. So will that help the BJP? Will that aid the BJP? And again, central Karnataka, Shimoga, Davangere, Chitradurga, these belts, because it was the Yediyurappa factor in these belts, will that necessarily change this time around? we'll have to wait and
You
see.
see the JDS winning 37 seats. It's interesting. They continue to hold on to that Mysore Mandya region and that belt, and even the hold sway on the Vokaliga votes. DK Shivakumar has not been able to make the kind of dent that you expect. 55 seats is quite critical in that Vokaliga segment.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the results last time around as well. This is how and why the JDS emerged kingmaker. Out of the 50 seats that are in Old Mysore, which is Hassan, Mandya, Channapatna, you go all the way up to Mysore. The JDS won 24 out of those 51 seats. It was the single largest party, ahead of both the Congress and the BJP. The Congress had only 16 at 33% vote share, and the BJP had only 9 seats at less than 20% vote share. This picture, will it turn? Will the JDS have the same kind of impact that they had in 2018? Or will this picture turn? Because this Vokaliga vote has largely been dominated. It's a fight between the JDS and the Congress. The BJP has been trying desperately to make inroads in this belt. There have been leaders like Ashwath Narayan, leaders like Prakar from Padmanabh Ashok, R. Ashok from Padmanabh Nagar, who's also fighting against DK in Kanakpura. They are pushing their Vokaliga leaders, someone like a Sudhakar from Chikbalapur. They are pushing their Vokaliga leaders, saying that we're also a Vokaliga party. Will the BJP be able to make inroads into hardcore JDS territory? I think Old Mysore will also hold a key. So out of those 51 seats, watch out for whether the BJP is able to improve its tally, because if they're not seeing the kind of gains that they're hoping in Old Mysore, and if those huge rewards that you saw in Coastal, Central, and to some extent in Hyderabad and Mumbai, Karnataka, the similar results are not seen this time around, then you can say that the BJP could potentially be in trouble.
And the BJP went for a complete generational shift in the ticket distribution. The reason that they did was that they were hoping that it will inspire particularly the youth to look at the BJP very differently. An experiment which worked for them in multiple states. An experiment which worked in Gujarat.
Yeah.
But
see, what happens is they did a full government shift 18 months to the election. They did a government shift with Basavaraj Bommai. He's not very popular, many people say, but others say that he's done far greater job. Let's try and go across to our guests. And before the first numbers start trickling in, get their thoughts. Prakash Belavadi, actor and former journalist with us. B.S. Arun, senior journalist with us. Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist with us in the studio. R.P. Singh, Sardar R.P. Singh with us, Lavanya Balal of the Congress Party, and Pratap Kanagal of the JDS. Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen and the ladies. Thank you very, very much. Let me first ask your thoughts. First, Bengaluru residents, Karnataka residents, I hope all of you have voted. Lavanya ji, let's start with you.
Hi, good evening. I am not a resident of Bangalore, though I reside often in Bangalore. My voting is in coastal Karnataka. I've just finished voting in my rural booth.
Fantastic.
In my farmhouse.
Fantastic. So what's the mood? At the end of the day, I'm sure everybody politically would be fancying their chances, but do you believe that this has been a high voter turnout election?
It's very exciting, especially in the ranks of Congress party. The excitement is very high. And the way our party...
We just lost the feed with her. We'll go back to Lavanya the moment she's there with us. Prakash, oh, she's back. You're back. I think interrupted connection. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for the disruption. Basically, what has happened is, the party workers have worked so beautifully, so efficiently. And I have to say kudos to our party workers. Today, if you notice across Karnataka, one thing that has stood out for me than the previous elections is a kind of violence that has affected this election, and also the reaction of the people who have refused to take the saris, the chickens that the BJP leaders have been giving them. And BJP leaders were caught on cameras in the last 24 hours distributing money. And that is something our party workers have caught hold of, including Mahalakshmi layout in Bangalore. One thing that has stood out for me than the previous elections is a kind of violence that has affected this election, and also the reaction of the people who have refused to take the saris, the chickens that the BJP leaders have been giving them. And BJP leaders were caught on cameras in the last 24 hours distributing money. And that is something our party workers have caught hold of, including Mahalakshmi layout in Bangalore, including my neighboring constituency of rural Karnataka, the coastal Karnataka. At midnight, we caught them with a carload full of money, distributing it to people. And I think this time, the Congress is going to form the government. I mean, we are very sure of forming the government.
I'll go to Sardar R.P. Singh in just a bit. Prakash Belavadi. Bharat Arun? Prakash, please go first. Your thoughts on the election so far?
Yeah. You know, I continue to believe that this was an election without a really major issue for either side. And when you see like issues like, Bajrang Dal ban as the major issue, you just see that it becomes an election without an agenda for either side. I think what BJP's biggest problem will be, apart from the charges of corruption that attends any government that is in power in Karnataka over the last 20 years, the real problem will be that it was a lackluster 5 years for them, and they do not seem to have anything strong to say as why people should vote for them. And if since 1985 or the mid-80s, no party has been voted back to power in Karnataka. So I think that casual anti-incumbency is what is the biggest factor against them. And for the Congress, I would say, sadly, it was an election for them to win, for them to lose. And, they even if they just kept quiet, I think we could have said confidently, like the lady who before me said, that they will win. But I'm no longer so sure that they'll sweep the elections as I had assumed 2 months ago. I think
Prakash,
now it's even Stevens.
Would you then say that election changed from what was seen as lackluster or issue-less election before 25th of April changed post 25th, and what was seen as pan-Karnataka local election became about various regions of Karnataka? 6 elections within that one election.
I think. See, I will tell you, it was the nature of confusing signals. See, let me first say that this whole idea of, Narendra Modi coming in the last minute and changing the narrative to some extent, enthusing voters, or like making people who were indifferent somewhat, favoring of BJP, that was expected, and it may happen. It happened last time, so it may happen. I don't think people had not calculated for that. But I'll tell you what nobody expected would happen is that there was a series of confusing signals. Day before yesterday night when I went home, I saw on the Kannada channels, DK Shivakumar's speech being reported in headlines saying, you made, Deve Gowda the chief minister, you made HDK, meaning Kumaraswamy the chief minister. Why can't you make DKshi? Which means DK Shivakumar, myself, the chief minister. You even made Ramakrishna Hegde the chief minister. I'm your own. Why won't you make chief minister? Now, the thing is, 2 days before elections, in such a caste-ridden, politics that we have in Karnataka, to make this announcement asking to become the chief minister may confuse many of the Congress voters, I think. So that is one. And that Bajrang Dal, I think, was banning of Bajrang Dal was a completely unnecessary thing to issue a few days before the election. Right. There was when Mr. Rahul Gandhi said, Mr. Modi, it's not this election is not about you. He's absolutely right. However, the party president, talked about, Narendra Modi as a poisonous snake and so on. I think that kind of thing was confusing for voters who wanted to look at a Congress agenda that looked at a very strong idea for Karnataka and its development, because we have done well in some sectors, but I don't think equitably we have done well everywhere. So there was something for them to tell. I think Congress lost that opportunity.
Correct. But they had the opportunity to give a story, and if they had not said anything, like you said, they would have still got the mandate. But did they shoot themselves in the foot is a big question that remains. DK Shivakumar perhaps telling the Vokaligas to vote for him for once, so that he could stand up and say, if Siddaramaiah represents the Kurbas and now largely the Ahindas, I also now represent the Vokaligas and I'm a strong leader in the face. Now, is that actually going to matter towards the end of it? We'll have to wait and watch. B.S. Arun, Rashid Kidwai, R.P. Singh ji, we'll come to you in just a bit. Have to take a very short break. Pratap Kanagal, please stay on with us. that they say central Lok Sabha, Modi, different state, local issues. That's what we do. And the voters become very discerning. But will they be able to tide over that? And will they give PM Modi a chance to say new leadership promise? And we will do a complete overhaul and it won't be 40% Sarkara. We'll have to wait and watch. Congress, meanwhile, very, very confident. Rashid Kitwa is also with us in the studio. But before we get talking to him, let's try and signpost. Let's try and understand here on air, Alexa, what are the talking points of this election? Why is it so important? And where's this fight all about? So let's try and zoom out a bit and the big numbers. There you go. Fantastic creation this by our graphics team, give you a visual appeal. See, more than 5 crore voters overall, plenty of aspects to talk about. Let's first start about the fight. The fight is about 224 seats, ladies and gentlemen. 224 seats at the assembly. That's up for grabs. The halfway number 112, majority mark 113. And some of the big challenges. The scorecard, if I were to bring back the scorecard from the last time around, the BJP was the single largest party, so near yet so far for them. The Congress had 80, the JDS had 37 seats. Will they do that 37 number this time? Because then they come back into the hunters kingmakers. But on ground, they say no, perhaps those votes will shift towards the Congress en masse or the BJP could gain. This aspect, this man, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what he turned out on his roadshows in Bengaluru and also in some parts of Bombay, Karnataka and central Karnataka and coastal Karnataka, will that swing it for the BJP, get them those critical 10-15 seats which they want to get past that 112 number? We'll have to wait and watch. 5.3 crore voters in all. That's a huge base, ladies and gentlemen. Huge base. So if an 80% turnout also means that nearly 1 crore voters would not have cast their ballot. That's very big. Revolving door results since 1989. What will that do? We'll have to wait and watch. Will that change? Will the BJP buck the trend? Factionalism within the Congress party, how much will it hurt? Kharge versus DK Shivakumar versus Siddaramaiah, or will it not matter at all? Will each of these satraps within their own caste combinations pull the votes in the direction of the Congress party? Will the big defections of the BJP, will that hurt the BJP, especially the Lingayat leaders, because that was the stronghold of the BJP always? And these new measures which the Election Commission has experimented with the senior citizens, home voting for those above 80. If it works in Karnataka, will they now implement the template in all the other states and eventually at Lok Sabha 2024? We'll have to wait and watch. There's a tight fight in 46 urban seats. And in 112 assembly seats, ladies and gentlemen, the women dominate. I'll come to that in a bit. 67 seats are Lingayat dominated seats. Nearly 55 seats are Vokkaliga dominated seats. Will that be the decider, or will this be the decider? 112 seats with more women voters than men. Will the women also consider the caste combinations, or will they work at a different level? What they think is going to work for them? So many questions that come to mind. So many equations beyond what we see at the surface level. Of course, the forefront of that thing that you see there behind Dhaka, you know, it's the magic wall which will get you all the portrait.
Dhaka, you've named it Karnataka Magic Wall this time.
Yeah, we've added a little more magic to the magic wall.
Magic to the
magic. Live tracker. Right now it's showing the past 99, 2004, 2008. But on counting day, you'll have a live tracker. So at 8 a.m. who was leading, at 8:15 who was leading, at 8:20 who was leading. So that's a live tracker that we've added. This, of course, is the wagon wheel of the House, which everybody is familiar with. And this is how the House stood at the end of the 2018 election. 104, BJP single largest party, Congress at 80 and JDS at 37. But of course, things change because 17 MLAs from the JDS and the Congress jumped ship and joined the BJP. So in the outgoing assembly, the BJP had 117. So we've added a little more magic. This, like I told you, is the real-time tracker. Right now, you're seeing fast results, but on the day of counting, you will see 8 a.m., 8:15 a.m., 8:30 a.m. If there is a trend that changes through the course of that counting morning, you will see that here on our live tracker. And then, of course, we have the wall itself. We've added a few more factors this time around.
Well, the evening skies of Bengaluru, that's the race course that you're seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Every spot in Bengaluru looks fantastic when you're up in the air. When you get down on the roads, you wish that you're either on foot or on a two-wheeler. because otherwise it becomes very difficult. Now, is that going to be an issue that is going to resonate in these elections? The civic issues as far as Bengaluru, 28 seats, important in Bengaluru. And if you were to take rural areas, another 4 seats, so 32 seats. Let's go across to our guests before the first numbers start trickling in and get their word in. B.S. Arun is with us, joining us from Bengaluru. Rashid Kidwai is here in the studio. And we have Sardar R.P. Singh and Pratap Kanagal, who have not yet spoken. So, B.S. Arun, your thoughts? Has Karnataka come out and voted in big numbers? And will this be a decisive mandate?
Well, I'm a tad disappointed with the voting today. I was watching the polling percentages at 5 p.m. for all the constituencies in the state, and it was not very encouraging. And I think at the end of the, we might get it at any time, the full percentage of voting. But going by what was the tally at 5 p.m., I'm not very sure that it will reach or it may cross the last time's percentage. More so in Bangalore, I think Bangalore people have not come out in great numbers to vote. So when that is the issue, I think it's the total number of voters who have come to the polling booth and exercise their franchise is more or less the same. So when that is the issue, how the numbers pan out as far as the seats that the political parties would get, whether it will be a hung assembly or whether any party will get a majority. So that is the issue. And as far as the performance of these parties are concerned, I think Congress still, I think, has its nose a bit ahead. Going by the earlier, it had the first mover advantage in the sense that it gave guarantees to the people, and that made an impact because Congress talked about the issues on the ground, the issues that touch the people, issues like price rise, the corruption at the ground level. Right. These are some of the things, the infrastructure. These are some of the things which really, I was looking at one of the interviews that you people carried with the first-time voters, and the demands that they made were like, what we need is good motor transport to my college, to my workplace, good metro service in Bangalore, drinking water facility, issues like this. And it is not, the national issues which BJP kept on harping. I think that could be one difference that this election can make.
Okay. Let me bring in Rashid here in the studio. Rashid, the question is whether it will be local issues or national issues. BJP certainly was hoping and continues to hope that it will be brand Narendra Modi, his message of double engine government, his message, and the last open letter that he wrote to people of Karnataka, that he has plans for the state of Karnataka, whether that will resonate or whether it will be about the Jai Viru Jodi, which is being said in the context of Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar.
If they lose with Modi magic, then Maria, it would mean that in any Indian state elections, if Mr. Modi goes in campaigns, then the BJP would win. The state issues, state leadership issues, etc., it will become very secondary. Remember, you see, if you do man-to-man thing there, the Congress was really ahead of the BJP in terms of having state leadership. There is no, but I mean, the chief minister is there, but somehow he doesn't match the kind of thing, reputation that Mr. Siddaramaiah has, or for that matter, popularity also.
We would want to challenge that with respect to Himachal. The PM campaigned there. Himachal did, the BJP didn't win. It's not necessary. But if you look at Karnataka, among the southern states, south of the Vindhyas, the BJP's presence at the booth level is the strongest in Karnataka.
First number has come. I think it's
now we've got the first numbers. The TV9 exit poll has come on the screens, and then we'll go across to Pratap Kanagal and our Sardar R.P. Singh with those numbers. So the first numbers are here, the TV9 numbers. Let's kind of have a look at these numbers. Here they are. And the TV9 exit poll, what numbers are they giving? The BJP 88 to 98. That's what it's saying. And south of the Vindhyas, the BJP's presence at the booth level is the strongest in Karnataka.
First number has come. I think it's
now we've got the first numbers. The TV9 exit poll has come on the screens, and then we'll go across to Pratap Kanagal and our Sardar R.P. Singh with those numbers. So the first numbers are here, the TV9 numbers. Let's kind of have a look at these numbers. Here they are. And the TV9 exit poll, what numbers are they giving? The BJP 88 to 98. That's what it's saying. And again, the Congress party 99 to 109. Ooh, the JDS 21 to 26. So Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy once again comes into play. Now this becomes interesting yet again. Last time 37 seats, this time around 21 to 26 seats. The BJP 104 will fall short by about 6 to 8 seats. If you look at the higher marker, the JDS minus 11 seats. The Congress jumps from 88 to 109 seats. Once again, so near yet so far, but there are 3 seats for the others. Does that mean somewhere it is the Congress that is in pole position as far as the first TV9 exit poll is coming through? Now, TV9 local inputs, because TV9 is a strong presence in the state of Karnataka too. And so you'd want to lean on what the local channels, the local numbers are, because they tend to reflect a little more than some of the national pollsters. Not always, but you have to bear this in mind. So this is the first number. Sardar RP Singh, your reaction. Pratap Kanagal, I'll come to you in just a bit. The JDS, which did not feature anywhere in the conversation, is still part of the conversation, Sardar RP Singh. आप लोग फंसते हुए दिख रहे हैं.
Well, Anand, thank you for bringing me here today. But I don't see JDS getting 21, 26 seats. I mean,
the JDS is nowhere in the picture. Congress is out of the entire game.
Is giving it to BJP in as much as it's crossing the halfway mark.
Yeah, crossing the halfway mark.
On the higher end, it's certainly crossing
113,
the
only party to cross the halfway mark, so it is giving it to the BJP. One more number has come in. Let's look at EMARC has got their numbers. Let's see what EMARC has got to say. So 2 pollsters, one giving it to the Congress, another giving it to the BJP. The third pollster, PMARC, comes in and oh, ये तो 50-50 हो गया, दोनों फंस गए. 109 and 108. And again the JDS comes into play. So again the historic trend of the JDS playing the kingmaker or the spoiler. And the trend, Karnataka has not bucked the trend. South of Karnataka, Mysore, Mandya, Hassan, that region continues to be dominated by the JDS. They are a few seats lower than last time. BJP somewhere around the same number, 5 more seats from last time. Congress, big jump, but not past the halfway mark. Now Sardar RP Singh, 3 pollsters, 1 more pollster is coming. Numbers are coming in thick and fast. Everybody seems to be doing it right at the time, a stroke of 6:30 p.m. Z Matriz says it goes to the Congress party. 118. So another pollster, first pollster to give Congress past the halfway mark and comfortably past the halfway mark, 118. BJP 94. The second pollster to say that the BJP could get stuck somewhere in the 90s and the Congress way past 103 figure mark, 103 to 118. So Z Matriz in Karnataka believes that this mandate is in favor of the Congress party against the BJP, and despite the JDS getting about 33 and the higher number, just 4 seats short of last time, the Congress party is past the halfway mark and is in place to form the government. So 4 pollsters so far, Sardar RP Singh. Before the next one comes, your thoughts so far.
Before you bring in Sardar RP Singh, a senior BJP leader has just messaged me and said, situation looks the same as last time around. And around
BJP could get stuck somewhere in the 90s and the Congress way past 103 figure mark, 103 to 118. So Z Matriz in Karnataka believes that this mandate is in favor of the Congress party against the BJP, and despite the JDS getting about 33 and the higher number, just 4 seats short of last time, the Congress party is past the halfway mark and is in place to form the government. So 4 pollsters so far, Sardar RP Singh. Before the next one comes, your thoughts so far.
Before you bring in Sardar RP Singh, a senior BJP leader has just messaged me and said, situation looks the same as last time around. And around 18th April, we were down and election changed post 25th April. So 2 elections in Karnataka, before 25th April and after 25th April, that's when Mr. Narendra Modi arrives. That's when the BJP gets issues such as Bajrang Bali, the Congress manifesto mentioning the Bajrang Dal ban, and also the personal attack against the Prime Minister has never worked. The BJP is hoping it will not work even this time around.
Yeah. RP Singh ji.
Yes, Bully.
And then Pratap Kanagal. Yeah.
Thank you, Anand. But I still feel that numbers which have been given to JDS are not going to stand by that numbers, because the tie is between the 2 parties, and people of Karnataka understand this, and they are not going to do this time, because they had seen that last time they did this and what happened later on. So this time they are given a clear mandate to us, as per me, and just wait for the time. I don't see that figure of JDS working for JDS at 25 to 33 or 15 to 16, whatever numbers are giving in different polls. And also, it's little early. 6:30 is little early for exit poll. I mean, I'll appreciate the your poll and whatever poll agency you had should give a poll.
We have not had any poll agency. What we are doing is we are just going to put the poll of polls, what everybody is saying, and we will put out a poll of polls. Yes, these numbers will be revised because this is based or calculated based on voter turnout at 3 p.m. That was around 50%. That voter turnout, if it reaches about 80%, 77 or the high 70s or near the 80%, then these numbers could get revised, ladies and gentlemen. That's a possibility. Pratap Kanagal, the JDS still features there, but there is an erosion. It's not growing. It's actually degrowing, sir.
No, nothing as such. If you look at 2000, let me start with 2013 election. 2013 election, the same channel, same surveys are, predicted 24 numbers, and JDS end up getting 40. And even in 18, except for one, I think one survey, West all predicted less than 30. So that is because every time JDS is undermined, and they obviously look beyond JDS. But definitely wait for 30. We will surprise everybody.
We have often seen
so
in every election, there is one party which is underestimated. Zaka, is JDS that party in Karnataka which is often
absolutely,
underestimated?
because it's always a rural party. It's harder to read the rural vote, and generally, the Gaudas vote like a clan. The Vokaliga vote is always like a clan. Like I said last time around, one of the reasons why they did so well was Mr. Siddaramaiah had apparently said something which did not go down well with that community. This time around, the Congress has been careful. Both Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar have kept the campaign to local issues about price rise, inflation, joblessness, etc. And the national issues, of course, it came into the fore in the last couple of weeks. But JDS is always a very difficult party to estimate in terms of how much votes and seats they will end up with.
And Senior Deve Gowda was campaigning on a wheelchair.
Oh, yes. Yes, he's in his mid-90s. He was campaigning on a wheelchair. Clearly, for his voters, of the Vokaliga voters, that was a very, very sympathetic scene. Whether that will help his party go past, let's say, 20 or 25 seats, we'll have to wait and see. But, people talking about this is my last campaign, a man at 94, 95 campaigning, I thought was a phenomenal picture story in itself.
But
Vokaliga votes, if they transfer all the way to the JDS, then DK Shivakumar will have it. Largely, if you were to see, the Congress has its nose ahead of the BJP so far as the exit pollsters are concerned at 6:41 p.m. this evening. The final voter turnout has not yet come through. If it is higher, if it is nearing the 80% number, there could be a revision, possible revision in these projections. In favor of the Congress, in favor of the BJP, we do not know. But there could be an upward or a revision from some of these pollsters by the time we reach about 8 p.m. and the final voter turnout numbers also come in. So there is another number that has just come in. There's a CGS number that's come through. Let's quickly take a look at this number. This is the CGS exit pollsters are concerned at 6:41 p.m. this evening. The final voter turnout has not yet come through. If it is higher, if it is nearing the 80% number, there could be a revision, possible revision in these projections. In favor of the Congress, in favor of the BJP, we do not know. But there could be an upward or a revision from some of these pollsters by the time we reach about 8 p.m. and the final voter turnout numbers also come in. So there is another number that has just come in. There's a CGS number that's come through. Let's quickly take a look at this number. This is the CGS exit poll. The CGS exit poll says, clear mandate for the BJP, 114, 86 for the Congress party. Now, this is another projection which is, some people would say we'll take it. Others would say it's not possible because it's got to be the Congress party. But this is another second pollster who's actually giving BJP the mandate and not the Congress. So does this change the average 10 seats more than the last time for the Congress party in this one? Lavanya Balal, any thoughts quickly on the numbers that have come in so far?
No, some of these numbers are so not correct. It's incorrect. The numbers are incorrect. And I would like to point out, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji visited Bangalore, it solidified the BJP vote base. But then the neutral voters got really annoyed with the kind of restrictions that it put on average Bangalorean. Bangaloreans hate the traffic jams, and that intensified because of Modi ji's visit. And also it reinforced Modi ji's opinion that Kannadigas have, that he does not care about this state for the rest of the 5 years. He visited 10 times only during the election, went back complaining about our tigers, but he didn't visit the state during the floods, during COVID, or any other season.
Lavanya,
You know, so
what about that open letter that the Prime Minister wrote, where he talked about the role of Karnataka in the $5 trillion economy, that when India becomes the third largest economy, then Karnataka will play an important role. So, while, yes, the elections were being fought on polarizing issues because of the issue that was given to the BJP, I would say, on a platter by Mr. Kharge, and also in your party manifesto, the fact is that it finally became about development. It was about the plan, the roadmap.
Maria, Karnataka is already the second biggest GST payer in the taxpayer in the country.
Yes.
We are already a big player when it comes to economy of this nation. But what is the amount of GST that we get in return? It's pretense that we get back. Do you know how difficult it is for Karnataka to demand our own well-deserved GST monies back?
RP Singh, a response on that, please. Go ahead.
Well, she's forgetting on one thing. Karnataka got 38 lakh toilets. It got 1 crore 1 lakh tap water connections. It got 7 lakh Awas Yojana houses. It got some like 37 lakh Ujjwala scheme gas cylinders. It got some like almost 35 lakh covered under the Ayushman Bharat, and out of which 15 lakh got the advantage also, got the benefit of that scheme also. And then so is the 3 lakh household, 3 lakh houses being constructed for the fishermen also. So there are different things which Karnataka has got during this period, and overall budget allocation has also grown up almost double than the last time. It was during Congress.
Does this all actually matter to the voter on ground is a larger question, RP Singh ji. One of the things which was also said is that during the COVID time, it was the BJP Karyakartas who were out on the ground helping everybody, contrary to what others would claim that everybody was helping everybody. What factors would actually matter across Karnataka? Or do you see trends varying depending upon which part of Karnataka we are talking about? Prakash ji, your thoughts on the exit poll numbers and also largely how the voters would lean on and what they would do? I'll go to Pratap Kanagal after Prakash Bilwadi. Yes, Prakash ji.
Limited to Bangalore. These are not issues elsewhere. They're largely reflective of the difficulty in calling this election, because it has been, there's no overarching dominant issue or a set of issues that that can make it easier to predict. The second thing that makes it very difficult to predict is that the issues of Bangalore, for instance, traffic, building the metro faster, or making a better infrastructure and so on, are very Bangalore. It's limited to Bangalore. These are not issues elsewhere in Karnataka. There are issues in other parts of Karnataka, and they are not the same issues. I think there may be 5 or 6 pockets of Karnataka with completely different issues, consistent only in that zone. Those issues could be. So what happens is, it's not that it's an issueless election. It's that the issues are very local. And the numbers, I tend to agree somewhat with the Jan Ki Baat numbers. And you see the wide margin of error that is there in that, there's a 20 seats bandwidth of doubt is there. That bandwidth of uncertainty is I think, that swing vote of a person who's not decided, who is a little bit disenchanted with BJP and its performance in Karnataka, who's not entirely excited with the Congress is about to offer, and who is undecided. And this voter, she is deciding, I think, who's going to get the election.
Sir, 112 assembly seats where women voters outnumber the male voters. Now, could that be a deciding factor? And you talk about corridor of uncertainty, a cricketing terminology, you brought it into politics, which is interesting. And right now, the upward revision has happened for the BJP from 94 to 98. That's the mega poll of poll numbers at the bottom of our screen. There's a downward revision that's happened to the Congress party. So hardly anything separating the Congress and the BJP as far as the numbers so far. That makes it very interesting. Pratap Kanagal, your thoughts. You'd put your hand up and then I'll bring in Zaka and Rashid Kidwai also. Yeah. Pratap ji, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, please. Now we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was just wanted to make a I was just wanted to make a comment on about that open letter you're talking about. The Prime Minister wrote about the economy. See, that is like, people of Karnataka are angry because one of the reason of Karnataka didn't get the GST on time, and central government, union government of Mr. Modi's government has asked Karnataka to go and avail a loan. So people are angry on that. They are really angry. People are angry on central government going to Supreme Court against Karnataka getting oxygen at the time of COVID. So these are that open letter. This doesn't make much of difference apart from Bangalore.
One of the interesting points is the route to 120. If you were to see, if the BJP, let's try and construct that if we can on the wall, Zaka, strongholds for the BJP and strongholds for the Congress, what would be their route to 120? If that's the number of safety.
I think it's fairly simple. For the BJP, it's coastal, central, and of course, either one of Mumbai and Hyderabad, but because those were the regions that they really dominated last time around. Out of the 104 that they got, 137 seats in this region, 84 out of the 104 that the BJP got was from this North Karnataka, coastal Karnataka, and central Karnataka. And like I keep going back, there are two factors. In coastal, it's about the Hindutva ideology pitch, the Hindutva laboratory, as it were. In central Karnataka, it's entirely caste-based. It's a Lingayat stronghold. Yediyurappa hails from Shimoga. That's bang in the middle of the state. All of those constituencies, Chitradurga, Davangere, Hubli Dharwad, of course, the chief minister is from Haveri. All of those places, last election, there was a Lingayat consolidation for the BJP. And of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, the BJP is generally tended to do well. This time around, of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, Laxman Savadi has moved out. You have Jagdish Shettar, who has moved out. And in Hyderabad, Karnataka, which used to be the Congress's stronghold, Mallikarjun Kharge is from Gulbarga in Hyderabad, Karnataka. Last time around, it was evenly split between the Congress and the BJP. So for the BJP, these are the wide regions that they need to max out in, because the other region, which is southern Karnataka, Old Mysuru, as people there call it, there it's a JDS versus Congress fight. Have we seen any evidence of that shift happening where the BJP can make inroads into the JDS's vote bank? They've tried really hard. They've tried really hard projecting some of their Vokaliga leaders, but will that be enough to dent the JDS's Gowda vote and the Congress's traditional backward classes vote in Old Mysuru? Because otherwise, the BJP will have to repeat what they did in 2018.
See, in this case for the Congress, after this entire shift, defections happened. They slipped from 80 to about 65, 67. That means they need to jump up another 60 seats.
Yes.
So where will the Congress have to get its votes if it really needs to? That means it has to eat directly either into the BJP votes or into the JDS
again,
votes.
Even for the Congress, the route to power is pretty much similar, except there'll be southern Karnataka, Old Mysuru, because the Congress, Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, both are from southern Karnataka. Also, the Congress needs to wrest back some of its lost Muslim vote as well as other votes in the coastal parts. 21, they won just one last time. 20 went to the BJP. Bengaluru, the Congress has always been the party that is ahead. Last time out of 28 seats, the Congress had 15. So these three, they will have to sort of come back in strong. And the one critical area where they will have to sweep is Hyderabad, Karnataka, which is Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, that belt. So in a sense, it's like a semicircle for the Congress. Here in Bengaluru city, in South Karnataka, which is the old Mysore belt, Mandya, Hassan, all the way up to Mysore. Coastal Karnataka, which the BJP completely swept last time around, they have to make inroads there in coastal Karnataka. And of course, in Hyderabad, Karnataka, which is one of the most sort of impoverished, let's say, backward places because of a lack of development there. Bidar, Raichur, Yadgir, all of those belts, they will have to make a serious comeback in.
So the task is, Amaria, just one sec. We just got another number. Like I said, there will be upward revisions that will happen. So let's quickly look at this. This is the ETG numbers that have now been revised based on the latest voter turnout. So we'll get you the overall voter turnout in just a bit, but ETG has revised its numbers. What it's done is it's given a clear mandate to the BJP, to the Congress party, beg your pardon, 106 to 120. So the first pollster to show that a single party is reaching that 120 number. The upward number was 118 so far. This has gone up to 120. So ETG revising the numbers upward for the Congress party, downward for the BJP, 78 to 92. So the lower number, if the Congress gets 120, the BJP will be less than 80 seats. Now that will change the poll of polls once again and swing it again in favor and open up the gap for the Congress party vis-a-vis the BJP. The JDS also slipping down there. So the Congress gaining at the cost of the BJP and the JDS. Now this is Polstrat. Polstrat has also revised the numbers. Polstrat saying 88 to 98 for the BJP, 99 to 109 for the Congress party. So this is again a tight fight, but the Congress party with its nose ahead with at least 10 seats, if I were to take the upper number. Now, 4 more revisions have come in. Jan Ki Baat has revised the numbers. Jan Ki Baat is saying furthermore consolidation for the BJP. 117 is the upward number and 106. So clearly 11-seat difference. Now, if you want to see this, ladies and gentlemen, 2 of the pollsters have given 11-seat margin on the upper numbers between the BJP and the Congress, but one is favoring the BJP, the other one is favoring the Congress party. So clearly there is going to be a huge percentage, or there is a percentage of swing votes and that corridor of uncertainty, which pollsters are saying I'll swing this way or that way. Now, eventually, PMark has also revised its numbers. It is 85 to 109 for the BJP, 94 to 108 with the Congress. So again, saying neck on neck, but with the BJP slightly just 1 seat nose ahead. That's what PMark is saying. So does this change the entire contours or the entire mega poll of polls? The mega poll of polls now, the BJP slipping, Congress opening up the gap, a 6-seat gap between the BJP and the Congress party. Matriz, at this time, again, upward revision for the Congress party. 118 is the upward number, 94 is for the BJP. So once again, the Congress 118, 120, that's the number. More pollsters leaning towards the Congress doing better than the BJP in these elections. The JDS could break into the 30s, but will perhaps on the upper level remain 4 seats short than last time. Just quickly bringing you the CGS numbers. What does the CGS exit poll say? The CGS exit poll is actually giving the mandate clearly to the BJP at 114 seats. Congress is at 86 and the JDS slips. So the gains for the BJP have come from at the cost of the JDS. That's where. So let's quickly look at the mega poll of polls. Let's quickly look at the mega poll of polls as it appears, ladies and gentlemen. The mega poll of polls, like I said, opens up a 6-seat gap between the BJP and the Congress party, but both falling clearly short of that halfway number. Congress falling 10 short of the halfway number. JDS has 24 seats. So clearly 13 short from last time. The others are 3. But overall, the biggest gainer, the single largest party emerging is the Congress party. This is how it looks like. Rashid Kidwai, Maria.
Congress would have wanted a better number, Rashid. Seriously, 118 after all the campaign that they did and the 40% corruption and the narrative that they tried to build. It's hardly a number that would impress them.
Yeah, so Maria, I think there's no point contesting these numbers, but let's remember this, voters are not Santa Claus. They are not going to vote, particularly in a surcharged, boisterous, polarized kind of campaign. People either tend to vote for or against the government. I think some of the pollsters have been slightly, cautious, and they are put in such place that it can go either way. But I think there's going to be a decisive mandate.
आपको नहीं लग रहा कि ये फंसेगा?
No, I don't think so. I think that's what I'm saying. The very nature of politics is such. And if you look at most of the states, Uttarakhand, Himachal, all states have given a very decisive mandate.
So the days of this phasa hua khichdi kind of is not going to have. Let's just quickly go across once again. B.S. Arun and Prakash Belawadi, you believe it won't be hung, it will be a clear mandate. Would you agree, disagree with Rashid Kidwai? B.S. Arun.
Yeah,
please. Between the two of you, you're all both sitting next to each other. Please take it.
I don't think it will be a hung assembly. I think people will give a decisive mandate. Having said that, I just want to point out a couple of things about this exit poll. It shows how complex was the election in Karnataka. It's very difficult to distinguish between parties. Very crucial.
So benne butter plain, benne dosa or bisibele. Prakash Belawadi.
No, my own view is that there is a psephologist that I really I look up to, Dr. Sandeep Shastri. In some interview, he had predicted that there will not be a 50-50. There will split mandate. There will be a definite clear majority to one party. He said. I don't know with what logic he arrived at that, but here is my worry about that. That is very preferable. It's good for Karnataka if that happens. But the problem is that politicians tend to be smarter than any cephalogist, I think, especially mass leaders. And if leaders like Mr. Siddaramaiah or Mr. Shivakumar are beginning to hedge their bets and issuing signals where they need to look at negotiating with their third party, then, you know, then I think a hung assembly is something that you should look at. But having said that, I want to say something about JDS.
Yeah.
I think people are a little bit tired of JDS actually playing what this thing of kingmaker. Actually, JDS has just become a mess maker from last elections, if you see. You know, it has been messy every time they have been in a coalition government. They don't get along with a partner. I don't think it worked out for Congress with them. It didn't work out with BJP with them. Congress twice, it didn't work out. And I think the voters who are backed, especially Vokkaligas, who think that there was a good strategy to play by controlling this, both the parties, national parties as I call them, especially in the Bangalore municipal body, if you see, the BBMP, you know, all these important committees were headed by JDS. They controlled, you know, the power there. But I think people are tired of that, and I will stick my neck out and say that JDS numbers will be way less than even 24 this time.
Wow.
Okay, so
in that case, maybe one party will get the majority.
Okay, we have Nistula Hebbar also joining us here in the studio. Nistula, when you look at these numbers of exit polls, will you also stick your neck out just as Prakash Balavadi has done and speak about the JDS factor? Will it be a collapse of JDS?
Well, we don't really know for sure. All I know is that Mr. Kumaraswamy seems to have, you know, hold himself up in his farmhouse, and his people are telling me that he's not going to give any on record anything today. But if you want to speak to him off record, he's pretty much willing to talk to you. He's very busy was through the day very busy trying to organize that the people, his voters actually came out. The JDS had played a very interesting game in this election in the sense that they knew that this was Mr. Devegowda's last election. There was a sympathy factor riding there. So they thought they would be able to get a lot more out of it. But their own home stretch of Hassan, they had a bit of a problem there, a family problem, where Mr. Revanna, who is Mr. Kumaraswamy's brother, his wife wanted that seat, and, you know, Mr. Kumaraswamy refused to give that ticket to her and gave it to his aide, Mr. Swaroop. And that battle is actually a very hard-fought one in the heartland of Gowda country. So what they did otherwise is that they have given 28 out of the 212 seats to outsiders. People, turncoats who didn't get tickets from BJP and the Congress, joined the JDS, you know, Chunavi Mausam and all that, and they got tickets. So they are hoping that in areas like coastal Karnataka or Hyderabad Karnataka, even in North Karnataka, where, you know, there is really no purchase for the JDS, they may be able to swing something. It all depends on how this gamble pays off. Otherwise, you know, the BRS had made a big show that they would be helping out the JDS, 212 seats to outsiders. People, turncoats who didn't get tickets from BJP and the Congress, joined the JDS, you know, Chunavi Mausam and all that, and they got tickets. So they are hoping that in areas like coastal Karnataka or Hyderabad Karnataka, even in North Karnataka, where, you know, there is really no purchase for the JDS, they may be able to swing something. It all depends on how this gamble pays off. Otherwise, you know, the BRS had made a big show that they would be helping out the JDS in, you know, Hyderabad, Karnataka, because those are Telugu-speaking areas, the old Nizam's kingdom, which was carved out and then added to Karnataka. So the BRS said, okay, we will help out. And then finally they didn't. And today I read somewhere that the JDS people were worried that, you know, they didn't have enough funds. They would have done better if they had funds. In at least 20 seats, they would have done better. So I asked one of the BRS fellows, you know, why didn't you help them? Because you said you would help them. And they said, no, we figured out that even if we helped them, they would get the same number of seats. Even if we didn't, they would get the same number of seats. So JDS is a fixed factor for this election, I would say, because of Mr. Devegowda. At the age of, you know...
So you're saying the numbers will be hung, no clear part, no party.
No, I'm not saying that. I still feel that even in the exit polls which show a kind of a hung situation, they always show the Congress to be a little ahead. And one never knows how far this, you know, inclination will go.
Correct.
And the Congress is expected to do well in Belagavi, which is North Karnataka, and it was the Lingayat country, so to speak, and BJP is very strong area. And as I was talking to Maria, in fact, before coming on this show, and I said, when you read an election and you read which party seems to have its, act together, you have to look at what were the questions of the campaign, what are the issues that both parties raised. Here you had a question government, so their record would be questioned, but they were not able to counter that.
And if the BJP doesn't dominate the Lingayat votes, then that election is over for them. There is no way they are going to win or cross that, get close to that 100 mark. Zaka, we bring in our other guests also, but Zaka, you've got
we have what, 6 polls now. I think 2 are giving it to the BJP, 3 are giving it to the Congress. 1 is saying that no party will be able to form a majority. But I think, on the JDS factor, if you go back to the 2 times that the JDS came to power, in coalition, of course, in 2004, where they had more than 50 seats, and then into 2018 when they had 37 seats, I don't think any pollster is giving either 37 or over 50 for the JDS. So I would tend to agree with what Prakash, I think, was saying, and B.S. Arun was also saying. I think it'll be a clear mandate. Whether it's Congress or BJP, that's a different matter. Simply because the JDS number, I think the highest that anybody is giving the JDS is 33, and that too at the outer end. The lowest is at 14. But I think the JDS will be in the 20s, in the mid-20s. And at the mid-20s, there is still 200 seats, which are straight fights between the BJP and the Congress. And I think 200 seats is good enough to figure out who will get 113 out of those 200.
We got one more pollster. So C voter has come through. So let's quickly look at the C voter numbers. This is the C voter number. Let's call that up and let's see if that changes the mega poll of polls average. So C voter is now saying it's the Congress which will get to the halfway mark at 112. The BJP falling way short, in fact 9 short at the higher end from their last time score at 95. So yet another pollster has given the mandate to the Congress party, although there is a big swing. There is a 12-seat swing both ways, and that's what's important. The JDS once again comes into the play with 29 seats at the higher end. Now, if this happens, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it could be a Khichdi Sarkar. The Congress party may just sail through with that 112 plus the others if these numbers hold. Pollstrat has once again revised the numbers. Let's try and quickly look at Pollstrat. 109 for the Congress party upper end. I'm just going to stay with the upper ends, and 98 for the BJP. So if the Congress gets 109, then BJP will be, that's what's important. The JDS once again comes into the play with 29 seats at the higher end. Now, if this happens, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it could be a Khichdi Sarkar. The Congress party may just sail through with that 112 plus the others if these numbers hold. Pollstrat has once again revised the numbers. Let's try and quickly look at Pollstrat. 109 for the Congress party upper end. I'm just going to stay with the upper ends, and 98 for the BJP. So if the Congress gets 109, then BJP will be at about 188. That's what it looks like. So once again, mandate to the Congress party. Let's try and look at the Jan Ki Baat numbers. Jan Ki Baat, 117 to the BJP and 106 for the Congress party. So once again, this is Jan Ki Baat saying BJP is taking this election. Somewhere, let's just quickly look at PMARC, and then we'll go back to our guests and also call up the mega poll of polls. It's right at the bottom now. Congress, PMARC, 108 for the Congress and 109 for the BJP. So PMARC saying BJP has just got its nose ahead. These numbers could get revised till the time the final numbers don't come through. There may be pollsters who would revise this based on the final voter turnout, ladies and gentlemen. The mega poll of polls says the Congress is at 102. The BJP is caught up 1 seat over with 95 overall. That's at the bottom of the screen while we put out the entire set of pollsters and their numbers so far. Now, if this voter turnout, I'm going to come back and say the same thing. If there is a surge, where there are reports that there is an evening surge of voters that comes through, if the voter turnout is in the higher 70s overall, and close to the 80% mark, finally, there may be revisions that will happen. In favor of the Congress or in favor of the BJP, we don't know, but there could be revisions that could happen. But this is, as it stands, 224 seats, 113 to win or to have majority, 102, 95, 24 and 3. So once again, Khichdi, Bisibele, however you want to look at it, it's all getting stuck there. We've got Adil Boparai with us at this point. Let's go across to him and ask him. Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP is also with Namaste, Jai Hind to everybody. Adil Singh Boparai, would you take these numbers? Congress, the single largest party, similar to the BJP the last time around?
Congress is crossing 130 seats. The exit pollsters will be wrong. Let the judgment day come. The exit poll numbers are not capturing the extent of support for the Congress party. And
please,
alternatively,
I'll come back to you, please. We've got B.S. Yediyurappa ji with us at this point. Namaskara, B.S. Yediyurappa ji. Your thoughts on the exit polls which say that the BJP may not have the numbers. Can you hear me, sir? My name is Anand Narasimhan. Yediyurappa ji.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Sir, the exit polls say that the BJP may fall short. More pollsters are saying Congress could have the mandate.
No, according to me, let us wait up to counting. We will get absolute majority and we are going to form the government. Some channels are showing 114 to BJP and something like that. But finally, let us wait up to counting. According to me, we are going to get. Let us wait and see up to counting. Afterwards, we will take appropriate decision. According to me, we are going to get absolute majority.
Yediyurappa ji, some people are saying since you are not contesting, the Lingayat votes may not stick with the BJP and that could hurt the BJP. Do you agree, disagree?
No, that is not correct. Convince the Lingayat community, they are all happy because I myself resigned for chief ministership and also I have decided not to contest for elections. But our community people are happy about my decision. All are going to support us. 101% we are going to get absolute majority. We will form the government. Let
you
us
think a higher voter turnout is advantage BJP, sir? Final question.
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm travelling the world meeting people who are shaping the future we want. I'm here in Nevada to see how Capgemini is helping the Nature Conservancy protect and preserve the vast Mojave Desert by unlocking the value of technology. Wow, it is.
Will be the chief minister if you get absolute.
No, after the result announced and our high command is going to take decision. I don't want to tell anything now. This is too early to say anything. Our legislature party meeting, they are going to take decision, my dear friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, B.S. Yediyurappa ji. Thank you for your time. So once again, BSY says, wait for the final numbers to come. We will get absolute majority. Adil Singh Boparai says, we will get absolute
Watching
majority.
his campaign, he was, I think it was very clear that the baton has been passed from him to his son. I think that's very clear. Now the question is, if the BJP were not to win this state, who emerges as the next gen leader of the BJP in Karnataka? I think Vijendra is surely well placed to be.
There is a lot of talk on ground that the BJP has also circulated.
He was also saying that the BJP legislator will decide. He was not saying the incumbent chief minister who would
no, but the BJP is not saying that the incumbent chief minister will decide.
That's a standard position that everybody has said.
No. Anand, when there is an incumbent chief minister, if a party wins under that person's leadership, then obviously the
No, but
claimant of
Rashid,
it.
interestingly, in these elections, the BJP was clear. All the top leaders, whenever that question was asked, whether these elections are being fought under the name of Basavaraj Bommai, they said, wait for the results.
Yes, Maria, he may be
He was not
underdog.
declared as a chief ministerial candidate either. The chief minister was not declared.
Rashid, by the way, I asked Mr. Bommai what happens after May the 13th. What happens to Bommai after May the 13th? He said, my party will take care of me. Whatever that means.
Yeah, somewhere, is there a message that's gone out, Shehzad Poonawalla, by the BJP to the voters that we will ring changes, we will bring new faces, trust us one more time? Is there a message that's gone in? Does that mean that there's going to be an entire change if the BJP gets absolute majority? New faces, young faces will get a chance?
Change is the only constant in life, Anand. And Anand, if I were to see, even the faces at CNN News 18 have changed. 10 years ago, the faces I used to see have changed.
in that, for that matter, that means you're saying that it's not going to be BJP, it's going to be the Congress party, Shehzad Poonawalla, because change is a constant. So revolving door.
Actually, Shehzad interned with us, so he's remembering the old CNN.
Revolving door content.
So if I may just...
Ji.
Anand, if I may just. Anand, I was observing very keenly before Honorable Yediyurappa ji joined you. Out of the 7 polls you all have averaged out, there are 2 polls that give BJP the decisive edge. There are 4 polls that don't give Congress even the decisive edge, even though it is being said to be an anti-incumbency election. Even the poll of polls say that we have lost just about 4 or 5 seats. And therefore, I put a big red herring, because even Adil has put a red herring on this number, saying that they're going to get a bigger number. The reason I say it, what is the percentage of vote?
If your vote percentage slips by about 8 to 10%, you have the chance of coming through with a majority. If your vote share slips below 40%, you are in trouble, sir, in Karnataka, because the Congress has the upswing and it has the groundswell on ground.
Just give me 10 more seconds to add to that. If you are comparing this with the Lok Sabha, then you will have to add one more factor of the Lok Sabha. In the Lok Sabha, the entire
Lok Sabha elections in 2019, if your vote percentage slips by about 8 to 10%, you have the chance of coming through with a majority. If your vote share slips below 40%, you are in trouble, sir, in Karnataka, because the Congress has the upswing and it has the groundswell on ground.
Just give me 10 more seconds to add to that. If you are comparing this with the Lok Sabha, then you will have to add one more factor of the Lok Sabha. In the Lok Sabha, the entire JDS vote came to us.
Yes.
Today, my information is that the JDS vote is collapsing completely, and that entirely is except for a few appeasement votes that the Congress might get here and there. The entire vote will come to us, and therefore you will have to give us the vote share of above 40%.
Shankarana ji, you want to respond to that before I bring back Adil Bopara? Yeah.
A very good evening, brother.
Good evening, sir. Namaskara.
The party also, through an independent agency, has conducted an exit poll. It very clearly says the party's vote share from 18% in 2018 will go up to 22% in 2023. And I would like to say, no party in Karnataka will be able to form government without the leadership of Harpanalli, Devegowda, Kumaraswamy.
So you are saying you will once again play a spoiler or kingmaker? Adil Bopara, ये तो BJP Congress दोनों के लिए तकलीफ है.
It's not about being a kingmaker. It is about respecting the mandate of the people of Karnataka.
देखिए आनंद, there's an old Urdu couplet, I may be getting it wrong, that दिल बहलाने के लिए ख्याल अच्छा है गालिब. But there are 2 key takeaways which I think there is common ground. Number 1, an increased voter turnout ordinarily means a vote for change. Number 1. Number 2, and people on the ground will validate what I'm saying, what you will see is a collapse of the JDS. And the conversion rate will be in favor of the Congress party. The votes of the JDS will go to the Congress party. Number 2. Number 3, the Congress party has led a very positive campaign. And 2 most pressing issues, now that the election is over, the campaigning is over, 2 very pressing issues which resonated with the voters of Karnataka were inflation and corruption. This is actually an election which has been fought on these 2 grounds, notwithstanding the BJP's attempt to polarize the election. And you will see on the day of counting, this will bear evidence in the results.
But the point is, did the Congress drop momentum and did they drop it? They had the election in the bag. They could have gone up to not just 130 but 140. Nistula Hebbar, how would you want to see these numbers? Bringing it into the studio between Zaka, Rashid Bhai and
the way I see it, I think everybody gets confused nowadays because of the election, because of what Prime Minister Modi managed to pull off with Uttarakhand and Goa. Those were states which were not on a very strong footing for the BJP. Correct. And his campaign there, even in Manipur, managed to get the party full majority in those states. And therefore, his last campaign blitzkrieg here as well. And he did this in 2018 in Karnataka as well, where the BJP was floundering. It was on slippery slope. And he managed to actually pull them. There were literally 20-25 seats which fell into the BJP's kitty because of his campaign. So right now, everybody really doesn't know how to read that last bit of campaign blitzkrieg of Prime Minister Modi, because he's extremely popular in Karnataka.
Let me ask you, how important is a 2% vote swing? How important, if will that take the BJP from say 38, 39% into the 40s, 41%? How important will a 2% vote swing
See, for
be?
myself, I look at it differently. I see that in 2018, BJP had everything going for it in terms of fighting that election and winning that election, because it was the opposition party. It had to attack the party in power. Its own Mr. Yediyurappa was the mass leader. He is a mass leader and also commands great support among the Lingayat community. And the coastal areas were also completely firmly behind the BJP. So their own fort was absolutely fine. Mr. Siddaramaiah had taken a few missteps when it came to the Lingayat community, saying that he would declare them as a religion, etc., etc. But even then, they managed to get, 104 or 105 seats in that election. They didn't move to the simple majority. And here, there are a lot of problems within the BJP itself. So I really don't know how the Congress would manage to lose this election.
See, because
and I was talking to one of your...
I asked you this 2% question because Sadananda Gowda said PM Modi will effect a 2% swing in votes, and that will matter to the BJP.
I've spoken to one of the BJP leaders.
That's what he did the last time.
And the sense was...
most exit polls are showing a gap of...
This whole vote share business. I think Shehzad had a point that even the last time, even though the BJP was 104, single largest,
their vote is
they had 2% vote share less than the Congress. The Congress had 38, the BJP had 36. The question is, see, this is the base with which the BJP is working. They're starting off from 104. How far have you fallen? I think the difference between the last election and this is that the BJP is the incumbent.
Yes.
And not a very popular incumbent government. I think that is the
critical point. What I'm saying is that if the Congress doesn't manage to win this election, then I really don't know what they will do.
Okay.
Because I was telling your colleague, before coming and joining you here, saying that, look, if this is a thali mein parosa hua election, they better win this, because otherwise there'll be huge questions on their status as a political party.
Rashid Kidwai was saying that BJP ने ये election जीत लिया तो कहीं भी जीत सकता है. You are saying that Congress ये election हार गई तो कहीं नहीं
जीत सकती.
कहीं भी हार सकता है.
But the point is that I spoke to a BJP leader, of course, before the Prime Minister embarked on those blitzkrieg. He said that there were 3 Bs which were a problem: Belagavi, Bidar, and Bengaluru. And that Bengaluru tension has been handled because of those 2 road shows, the long stretch of 36 kilometers in South Bengaluru and then in Central Bengaluru. Zaka, that confidence in the Prime Minister, which has been in 2018, it's the same case that the BJP has even this time around. So that 2% that we are looking at.
So I think that Bangalore, look, the Bangalore has always been a Congress town. I don't think, the BJP has won Lok Sabha elections. In fact, all 3 sitting MPs from Bangalore are BJP. This is how it was in 2018. We've included Greater Bangalore as well, so it's 36 seats. The inner city seats is about 28. But out of that 36, last time around, the Congress won 18, the BJP 11. If you were to look at even just the hardcore city seats, the Congress last time had about 15, 16, and the BJP had 9.
Yeah, but 4 of them moved to the Congress, BJP
they moved to the BJP.
Yeah.
I think the fight for the BJP in Bengaluru is essentially this. You have the Modi magic. Undoubtedly, some vote will swing in that urban pocket because of Mr. Modi. But you have very entrenched local MLAs of the Congress. A Harris, a George. These are guys. Ramalinga Reddy is an 8-time MLA. To unseat these entrenched local, I wouldn't say the word satraps, but then they're very, very entrenched local MLAs. Will a 2% swing be enough? I think that's going to be a critical question.
I'm saying 2% overall, and there's one more aspect. See, 2019, Rashidji, see, 52% was the BJP's vote share in 2019 Lok Sabha election. In 2018, that number is 36.24%. So there is a 14% gap if you were to look at. Are you saying that in this election they will drop 14% in vote share, or will they be able to hedge it?
No. You're confusing a double-ticket election. You're just confusing.
No, I'm not confusing. I'm just saying BJP's electoral tactic is to ensure that there is not more than a 10% slip. The 10% slip is 42% vote share. 42% vote share is past 120. That's why I'm asking you, Rashid.
No, I think in most states there is this kind of disparity exists between what BJP had done in Lok Sabha and what happens in the assembly election. In this poll of polls, you see they're very interesting. All those survey agencies which have shown poll percentages, there is a gap of 4 to 6% gap between Congress and the BJP. Yeah. So most pollsters are giving 40% to the Congress and about 36, 34, 35% to the BJP. So how it will play out on May 30th is yet to be seen.
But again, in those 2%, Zaka, BJP managed to win a number, almost like 50% of its seats with just a very few margins. What is the margin?
So the thing is that the BJP, as Nistula was saying, in Coastal, for example, I keep going back to this, they maxed out last time. Out of 21 seats, they won 20. Again, in central Karnataka, they got a large number of seats because Yediyurappa was on the ticket. He was going to be the chief ministerial face for the party. So the Lingayat vote consolidated in Shimoga, Davangere, Chitradurga, that belt. And of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, the BJP has traditionally done well. There are the Marathi speakers there as well. This is also, by the way, Lingayat belt. Lakshman Sabri, for example, comes from this belt. So they maxed out in their regions. They did not make any inroads in the southern part of the state. If you were to divide, Karnataka south of Shimoga, the BJP hardly got any seats, right? The question is, can the BJP make inroads in this belt, the old Mysore belt, to compensate for losses that may be seen in central or in coastal, or even for that matter in Bombay, Karnataka? I think the BJP's success or otherwise would depend on that
100%.
in this election.
This is something that I had written in the Hindu as well, and I said it will just boil down to these 59 seats. Usually it is JDS versus the Congress, and BJP be the nascent sort of power there. And if the JDS shrinks and Congress does well on those seats, then they're through. Otherwise, they have a problem.
Break down this election region-wise and section-wise and say 50. This is the construct, and this is where the BJP, because somewhere for the Congress to win, they need to have a swell, a groundswell, which is of anti-incumbency against the BJP, which is across the board. Is it across the board? Are there labharthis? Are there groupings which are not traditionally being seen? The women voters, and the work that the BJP has done on ground in rural Karnataka, central Karnataka, coastal Karnataka to consolidate those critical 90-100 seats, which would take them closer to the majority number. Is that going to be very, very decisive? Because a lot of times we end up seeing this from a Bengaluru prism. Prakash Belawadi, Bharat Arun, would you want to come in on this? Before we go back to our political voices, Dr. Ashwath Narayan should also be joining us in a bit. But quickly, Prakash Belawadi, is this important to see Karnataka with various sections of different parts of Karnataka and the issues there and the presence of the political parties there to get to that number of 112?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think so. I think you should separate Bangalore from the rest of Karnataka, and you should separate even those different zones of Karnataka. They all have very different issues, and to measure how the feelings of people there is a bigger task than actually lumping it all together and trying to find an equation from looking at just Bangalore. But there was a number that you have on the old Mysore, the 58, 59 seats. See, if the votes of the minorities, there was a very interesting thing I want to tell you that happened before the UP election. In one of the interviews, there was this old man, a Muslim, who was telling a reporter that, in the past, he or people like him, he said we were looking to defeat the BJP candidate wherever he was. We would actually try and vote for a person who could defeat the BJP candidate there. But I think we have now decided that we will together support one party. The Muslim vote will go to one party, he said. I don't know if that worked out like that or not, but that's a very interesting idea. If that happens in the old Mysore region, then Congress will become a very big winner, I would like to say.
Let me ask.
That is why I'm saying...
Sorry, please complete. Please complete.
No, that is why I say that you should look at the election, because Karnataka is so caste, community, subcaste, within the caste, that you have left and right kind of thing. It is because it's so complex, to look at the numbers, like you should take the clue from the politicians sometimes, because if the Congress is signaling in some ways, if their big leaders are signaling that there may be a hung verdict and they need the help of the JDS. Okay, and if this has been sensed even before the Congress thought of it by the community, by the Muslims, because who seem marginalized due to the national politics at the moment, if they decide to go with the Congress in toto in Karnataka, then we'll get a very different, very decisive result in favor of the Congress, I think.
So basically, there are 6 different regional elections that have been fought in Karnataka. Every region is going to decide whether the Congress will actually cross that 113 mark, the magic figure. And as for the BJP, Zaka, it is about the coastal belt, the 59 seats in that part.
No, the coastal has 21 seats, out of which they won 20.
South Karnataka.
And South Karnataka is the one that has 59.
That's 59.
Look, I want to add one point to what Prakash was saying. You know, every time we look at Southern Karnataka, we look at Old Mysore and say, oh, Vokaligas vote for JDS, Vokaligas vote for JDS. Last time around, a lot of Muslims also voted for the JDS. And this time, because of halal, hijab, whatever, there's a lot of Muslim population in Mysore Mandya.
Yes,
I mean,
there is.
it's not a small number.
So, Zaka, are you suggesting that what Congress did in the election manifesto proposing ban on Bajrang Dal, it is actually going to help?
I think that was the biggest folly that the Congress could think
I
of, because
I
it
don't
really
think
gave
so.
a
different to consolidate the Muslim vote in favor of the Congress
No,
party.
it could potentially. Look, I don't
really
think
going to
I don't think the Congress needed to say that for the Muslim vote to consolidate. I think the Muslim vote was already consolidating in favor of the Congress. What it ended up doing was had the opposite effect. It started consolidating the BJP voter. The BJP voter. I mean, you had posters coming out saying Hanuman is a Kannada god, and here's the Congress insulting Anjaneya. Right? You gave a handle to the BJP. But I'm coming back to this point. Both in Old Mysore as well as in Hyderabad, Karnataka, the Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, that belt, again, there is a good number of minority electors. And if they start consolidating around the Congress and helping in a way the Congress do well in both Old Mysore as well as in the Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar belt, then you could see a decisive sort of mandate.
We have Dr. Ashwath Narayan through with us. Ashwath Narayan ji, namaskara. This is Anand Narasimhan here. Thank you for joining us here on our coverage on the poll of polls. Zaka is with me, Maria is with me, we have Nistula Hebar, we have Rashid Kidwai, Prakash Belawadi ji is with us, B.S. Arun ji is with us. So a lot of people who are looking at the numbers, what the pollsters are putting. I'm sure you have also had a look. Not many are saying that the BJP will come with not just as a single largest party, but very few are actually saying you will have majority.
You want me to react, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Definitely in the 2023, we have a good ground for the Bharatiya Janata Party to come back. Because Congress has lost its ground. People don't look up to Congress party. It is no more a relevant party. And their leaders or their issues, whatever they have taken up, is not relevant. And whatever they have mentioned in their manifesto also is something which is completely unacceptable to the people of Karnataka.
But the exit poll numbers favor the Congress party, sir. Ashwath Narayan ji, exit poll numbers favor the Congress.
It might be, no. Yeah, definitely. Whatever the exit poll might be there, sir. But I'm
not getting Ashwath Narayan ji. And where do you think you're going to get maximum votes from or seats from?
You will depend only on the exit poll to manage our party or our ground level.
No, you have booth level information, so please tell us.
But are you not also depending too much on the Prime Minister's magic and the charisma? You know, the fact is that the entire election is being seen in 2 parts. Isn't it true that the entire election was being fought under that name and in the name of Prime Minister Modi? If you look at the advertisements that came out in the papers also, 1 vote for Modi.
Yeah, definitely. Why not? Yeah, why not? People just love him, respect him. They trust our Honorable Prime Minister. We are talking about double engine Sarkar. The leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister as a country, as a nation first. It's a globalized world. See, it is a globalized world. For a state of Karnataka, it is very important to align with the entire global system. So probably in this direction, the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister is much respected. We look up to him. His blessing is the people love him, they respect him, they want to give vote in favor of BJP.
You say that it is 120 seats. May I ask you, how many seats are the local BJP leaders winning and how many seats is the Prime Minister winning for the BJP out of these 120?
See, overall, the BJP, I'm telling you, the number will be total 120. With regard to the Kittur, Karnataka, the numbers are going to increase in Kittur, Karnataka, in Malnad.
Are you tired of using the outdated trading strategies that don't just work in this volatile market? Then it's time to level up your trading game with my free masterclass on modern technical analysis that will help you to gain hidden insight to make the better trading decisions and see better results. In this live masterclass, you will learn my
the minimum, whatever present numbers are there, definitely we are going to retain. There's no doubt about it,
And
sir.
do you think that gamble, because you're so confident, then that gamble that the BJP went for in terms of ticket distribution, 30% complete new faces, that will be yielding dividend for you? With new faces.
Yeah, can you repeat, madam?
Yes.
I couldn't
So
hear.
I'm asking you the question that the BJP changed candidates. That led to some kind of rebellion. You lost two of your senior most leaders also, a former chief minister and a former deputy chief minister.
See, let me make it very clear. In our party, the leaders doesn't matter. They have been given every possible position. People were really disappointed with the decision being taken by the senior leaders when everything was given to them. When they have left the party, people don't look up to them. It's a cadre-based party, and definitely you can see the result. They'll be completely rejected in their respective constituency. And we have fielded 75 new candidates. People wanted to see fresh faces, new faces. The leaders doesn't matter. They have been given every possible position. People were really disappointed with the decision being taken by the senior leaders when everything was given to them. When they have left the party, people don't look up to them. It's a cadre-based party, and definitely you can see the result. They'll be completely rejected in their respective constituency. And we have fielded 75 new candidates. People wanted to see fresh faces, new faces, the new opportunity from various backgrounds, from civil officers, doctors, professionals, and well-qualified people have been fielded. 75 new faces have been fielded. I think that is also.
So you are saying, so the Congress is saying,
the new reservation
we don't
policy.
agree with the exit polls. Congress is saying we don't agree with the exit polls because we'll win 130 seats. You are saying you don't agree with the exit polls because you will win 120 seats. So who will win? And will you get absolute majority? Will any party get absolute majority? Or will JDS decide who becomes the chief?
The one party which is going to. No. I'll tell you. Let us see on the 13th. Again, anyone will be there.
Yes.
I can tell you confidently, we are definitely, Bharatiya Janata Party can only get, not the Congress Party. Congress Party has lost complete ground. You think they're seeing whom? People are going to vote Congress Party.
Has some calls been made to Devegowda, Mr. Devegowda and HD Kumaraswamy, based on the exit poll numbers? Because you'll have much to be concerned about these numbers. If it is indeed about that kingmaker JDS, then has some calls been made?
We are king. We don't want any kingmaker. We are the kings. Definitely will form the government on our own strength. We don't need any kings. We are only the kings here.
Well, we wish everybody all the best and we hope it's a clear mandate. But thank you very much for joining us, and that confidence that you're exuding, well, that should confuse a lot of people. Thank you very much. But that same combination, Zaka, for the BJP where they want to consolidate, Kittur, Karnataka, coastal Karnataka.
My only sort of issue with that argument is they're already consolidated in the last election. You can only come down from what you won last time. Again, I'm going to run you through those numbers. It was coastal, it was Mumbai, Karnataka, and he said central, right? That's about 80 seats, I think, almost 100 seats, 106 seats. The BJP got 72 out of 106. The Congress only had 31. and the JDS had 2. Look at this. Coastal Belt out of 21, 20. Again, in the Central Belt, they won a large number of seats. And of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, which has always been a Lingayat belt, and there is the Marathi-speaking population there as well. It is the BJP that won a maximum number of seats. These are the BJP's fortresses. The BJP consolidated in these fortresses in the last election. Will they manage to still get 72 out of 106? Again, here in the Coastal Belt, 20 out of 21, will they be able to retain that despite all of these divisive issues?
What they're trying to do is they want to actually get 90 seats here. They want to erode the Congress party, and out of 106, they want to target 90 seats in this belt.
I keep coming back to it. If they get 90 out of 106 in this belt, surely they're making inroads in Mysore, Mandya.
That's how.
Then it's a sweep.
That's where I'm telling you. This is where they are saying this is how they are getting to that 120, 125 number within the BJP, where they are confident that in this grouping of 106 seats, they are confident of upping their seats by about 18 to 20 seats. That's why I said the 90 number out of 106. This is what the BJP is saying. Now, whether they're going to achieve that or not is a different story. That's why if you were to see all that activity which has happened in the last 18 months, even before the campaigning activity started, the activity has been in that belt for the BJP. They've been saying that there were certain seats which they lost by about 2,000-3,000 votes. They have identified those seats. They want to consolidate on those seats. And that's why the PM has also spent more time there before he came south towards Bengaluru. So that 19 seats in Bengaluru, these 90 seats here, that automatically takes them closer to that 112 number. 19 seats in Bengaluru is what they are aiming. This is the BJP's construct.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, I don't think BJP's ever got 19 seats out of 28. But I just want to talk about those BJP new faces. This is a strategy they've used in Gujarat, in Uttar Pradesh, and other places. Will it necessarily work in Karnataka? 75 new faces. And if you look at it, the BJP has a bulk of the seats where they've changed candidates happen to be in Old Mysore, either won by the JDS in the Browns or won by, in the Tumkur, Kolar, that belt, won by the Congress. You have a few seats here in the central part, a few seats in the coastal area as well, and of course in Hyderabad, Karnataka. But really a bulk of those new faces are in the southern part of the state, which is not the BJP's dominant belt, the dominant belt of the JDS or the Congress. I think one other interesting thing that is worth looking at is, again, in the coastal belt, out of 21, I think they changed 8 candidates, 8 sitting MLAs out of the 21 in the coastal belt. Will that negate some of the anti-incumbency? Like I said, this is the BJP strategy that they've used in Gujarat, in UP, etc. Will it necessarily work in Karnataka? But out of that 75, it's not like all of those 75 were sitting MLAs. The number of sitting MLAs who had been dropped is only in about 20 or so, 25 if I'm not mistaken, 24 or 25, 28, out of which one was with the BJP, went to the Congress, and now I think is fighting on a Congress ticket. The rest of the 27 MLAs who've been dropped, again, you come back to that. A large number of them here in the coastal belt, some of them in the central belt, in Shimoga, Chitradurga, Davangere, that belt. But otherwise, the BJP has not experimented. Like in Gujarat, for example, they dropped about 30% of their sitting MLAs, right? Here it's about 10%. I think that factor will also
see differentiate Zaka between areas of influence which an individual leader has given you, which is Shimoga and other places, North Karnataka, which is Yediyurappa's belt, and areas of influence which has been because of the party. So where the party is in a strong position, which is coastal Karnataka, where anybody with a BJP ticket will automatically arrive with a lot of advantage. That is where they've been experimenting with new faces, and they feel that this is someplace where they can get away. Another belt is the Hyderabad Karnataka. If you just pull out Hyderabad Karnataka, this is again where why the BRS backed off, not just because of the JDS factor. This tight fight of 31 seats between the Congress and the BJP. The BJP has been actively working in this Hyderabad Karnataka belt also, with Bandi Sanjay and that group spending a lot of time in the Telugu speaking belt. We got a reaction from Bommai, Basavaraj Bommai. Let's listen in.
Complete majority, comfortable majority. And the real poll results will be there on 13th. I think everybody should wait till 13th.
So the polls are showing that some polls are showing neck to neck, and showing BJP at 95 and Congress at 106. Do you still feel that the exit polls are getting it wrong?
No, exit polls are exit polls. It can't be 100%. And there will be plus or minus 5% variations in all polls. That is it's in the bracket. So So that can change the whole scenario.
Sir, Congress,
Sir, in case of
Congress said that EC has reported a huge increase of voter turnout. This is a very positive sign for Congress party depicting an
It is the other way around.
BJP
See, always, if you go back the track record, the more number of voters turn out is always better for the BJP, not for Congress. And this shows that a lot of people who otherwise not come and voted, especially in urban areas, they have come and voted. So that is the positive sign for BJP.
Sir, are you in talks with JDS if there is hung?
There is no question of hung. We are going to get absolute majority, I am telling you.
So the Congress is making allegations that near Dandeli, already buses have come and they are approaching their MLAs, sir, BJP. MLA candidates.
This is all their figment of imagination. Thank you. Now,
we've got one more set of numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Shehzad Poonawalla with us as we bring in this one more set of numbers. Basavaraj Bommai repeating what Dr. Ashwath Narayan said. There is no question of talking to the JDS. We are getting absolute numbers. Let's look at the Rajniti numbers. The Rajniti numbers, Shehzad Poonawalla, as we're calling this up, shows the BJP at 100, the Congress 8 behind at 92, the JDS just 6 short of the last time number, but at 31. So JDS playing kingmaker. So this kingmaker aspect is a lot of pollsters saying it could still be, it will still come through. There's one more pollster. CNS has come in with its exit poller. So let's look at the CNX exit poll. CNX says the BJP will be 90 tops, but the Congress will get 120. So another pollster giving Congress the mandate, not the BJP. So where is this confidence for the BJP coming from, Shehzad Poonawalla? Shehzad, are you there?
A decisive lead. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
there. Can you hear me?
Sorry, your audio was down. Now it's up. Go ahead, please.
Out of the 8 polls you all have sampled or taken together, 3 have given us a decisive lead. Forget what the numbers are. I am saying that there is no consolidated trend, that there is massive anti-incumbency against us. And this is bucking a historical trend. The entire election by the Congress was manifested on the fact that there is huge anti-incumbency. They themselves don't believe in it simply because the way they went for politics of appeasement shows that the so-called anti-incumbency narrative wasn't working on the ground. And in fact, I can tell you that there is now something called a pro-incumbency. Modi means pro-incumbency. Uttarakhand,
but it's not reflecting. It's not reflecting in the exit polls.
Uttar Pradesh,
the numbers don't show it.
No, 1 second. I'll tell you the reason for that, Anand. The conversion of vote share into numbers is a tricky science. It's actually hocus pocus. So please don't be so in a hurry. Just go by the vote share. If the vote share of BJP is not being touched, that means that conversion onto seats will be much more what you're showing right now on the screen. And I can assure you
pollsters
that
are giving you, the pollsters are showing at least a 14 to 15% erosion, if not more, compared to your 2019 performance. And also lower than what you got in 2018. 36.8% last time in 2018. A lot of them are saying आपको 34-35% मिल रहे हैं. तो आपको तो vote share गिर रहा है, बढ़ नहीं रहा है.
Add 1 second. First of all, let's compare Lok Sabha to Lok Sabha. Let's not compare apples to oranges, because then we'll have to factor in a lot of other comparisons. But having said that, after the massive anti-incumbency, all these so-called exit polls are telling us that we are getting 1% less. Is that massive anti-incumbency in a state like Karnataka?
Let Adil respond to this. I think Adil should respond to this.
Just one line. The strategy of the Congress to do what Bengal could manage because of its 30-35% minority vote share in a state which has 13% minority vote share will boomerang, and you're not seeing that coming. So it is boomeranging.
You are saying that the Congress is a case of over-reliance on the minority vote, and that is the reason why they perhaps put the ban on Bajrang Dal deliberately. Rashid, before I bring in Adil.
I think it's the outcome that determines everything, and we'll have to wait till May 13, because we're going by conjecture. But all those exit polls that I keep repeating don't go by the number or the direction they are saying, but you look at the poll percentage. There's a clear 5 to 6, 7% difference between the BJP and the Congress. How do you explain that?
Yes, Shehzad Poonawalla.
No, even last time the Congress was ahead of us. The Congress party has always been ahead of us. Their vote, however, is more scattered across the region. Our vote converts into bigger share of seats. This is just established fact. Ask Zaka, he's doing the numbers, he's crunching the numbers. I am only saying that if after the 5-year entire might of the
Shahzad,
Congress,
please pause.
the money
Priyank
bags that
Kharge
they
is
put in,
reacting.
just
going across to that and coming back to you.
Well, I haven't seen the numbers very clearly, but if I'm to believe that what people say and what's coming off the exit polls is that the Congress government is going to be in power, and we're very close to forming the government. And I'm sure that once the counting is done on 13th, we will form the government.
Kharge is saying we will form the government, Shahzad Poonawala.
No, देखिए
But his father won't be
ख्यालों
the chief
को
minister.
कोई हकीकत से ना जोड़ो नहीं खड़गे जी के ख्यालों को कोई हकीकत से ना जोड़ो भ्रम के इस आईने को कोई पत्थर से ना तोड़ो he can dream I mean there's no habit there's no problem in dreaming
तो फिर आप भी तो कह रहे हैं कि हम तो अटकेंगे सनम तुम भी अटकोगे
नहीं नहीं
आप भी तो वही कह
मैं
रहे
तो
हो
कह रहा हूं कि हम स्पष्ट बहुमत वाली सरकार बना रहे हैं जो आप नहीं देख पा रहे हो वो मुझे यहाँ पर बैठे बैठे साफ साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि ये वो कहते हैं ना कि हाँ
मैं कह रहा हूँ
नहीं ये चौबे जी बनने क्या वो कहावत है
हाँ हाँ है
नहीं this is a classic case where the Congress thought that it could be smarter than half and it has scored a massive self goal in the thirst for 10% 12% they have lost a huge chunk. Please see the sentiment. This is a sentiment that might not be capsulated by the exit polls.
So are we really ignoring the elephant in the room again? You're not addressing that, the JDS factor. We have JDS spokesperson as well. You know, did the Congress somehow manage to convert this into a bipolar fight by bringing in that Bajrang Dal angle?
Shankarana ji, are you there? Oh, we've lost Shankarana ji, but you believe it's now a two-way fight?
Yes,
the JDS will not play at all? Both parties want to believe that.
I'd like to see that happening first, and only then will I believe it, because I've seen too many times that the Gowda families managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat. I always have a soft spot for Mr. Kumaraswamy as Karnataka Chief Minister, because as I always say, that he was the only one who gave me an interview the first time I asked him. So, you know.
No, but I
would really like to believe, I'll believe it when I see it is what I want to say.
He's called Gaudru. And Gaudru on a wheelchair at 94, 95. 100%. I think for his voters, it does make a difference. But I keep coming.
The sympathy factor is sometimes exaggerated. You look at case of Mr. Amrinder Singh in Punjab, it didn't work.
No, I can say with fair degree
no,
of
but
certainty,
Amrinder
Singh and Deve Gowda in their respective states are not viewed the same.
It worked for Mr. Badal.
Yeah.
He had a bereavement in his family and he won a second unprecedented term.
Correct. See, here it is among the caste groupings. See, the biggest aspect is that if the Vocaliga votes go en masse to the JDS, then the chances of the BJP actually getting closer to that halfway mark is greater than the Congress party getting to the halfway mark. It's a sizable number that Vocaliga votes.
The one factor that was going against the JDS, I think Mr. Soudha referred to, is I think the family itself is not settled. I think they were not able to set their house in order between Revarna and Kumaraswamy. And I think that percolates down. In fact, Mr. Deve Gowda at 94, 95 was campaigning more than Kumaraswamy or Revarna were doing. I think that also sends out a message.
And this Mrs. Ambarish, the last time around...
Oh, she was quite unpopular because I traveled to Mandya. Every time I would mention her name, people would just start throwing their hands around saying, you know, last time we gave her a vote because there was some sympathy factor. And the BJP did not put up a candidate. They supported her as an independent. Congress also put a weak candidate. So she won. This time we will not do that. Although there was a lot of sympathy for Prime Minister Modi. I mean, there was a lot of love for him.
See, is this going to translate? These last 10 days, 25th of April to the 9th of May, the 8th of May, and what the Prime Minister has been able to do, is that going to be a huge factor, ladies and gentlemen? We have to see. We have not even got the final voter turnout numbers, as the Election Commission said. If it is higher than last time,
it was during Congress.
Does this all actually
99,
matter to the voter on ground is a larger question, RP Singh ji. One of the things which was also said is that during the COVID time, it was the BJP Karyakartas who were out on the ground helping everybody, contrary to what others would claim that everybody was helping everybody. What factors would actually matter across Karnataka? Or do you see trends varying depending upon which part of Karnataka we are talking about? Prakash ji, your thoughts on the exit poll numbers and also largely how the voters would lean on and what they would do? I'll go to Pratap Kanagal after Prakash Birwadi. Yes, Prakash ji.
See, when you look at the exit poll numbers, they're largely reflective of the difficulty in calling this election, because it has been, there's no overarching dominant issue or a set of issues that that can make it easier to predict. The second thing that makes it very difficult to predict is that the issues of Bangalore, for instance, traffic, building the metro faster, or making a better infrastructure and so on, are very Bangalore. It's limited to Bangalore. These are not issues elsewhere in Karnataka. There are issues in other parts of Karnataka, and they are not the same issues. I think there may be 5 or 6 pockets of Karnataka with completely different issues.
For you to get a sense of how it is looking like, let me just come here and show you these numbers. So this is what it shows. At this point, the average poll of polls for the BJP is 94. So they are 10 short from the last time around and clearly nearly about 19 short of majority. In this case, the Congress party is 10 short of absolute majority at 103. There is one pollster that is giving BJP the mandate. There is one pollster that is giving, or in fact, one pollster clearly giving Congress the mandate. But largely, if you were to see, the Congress has its nose ahead of the BJP so far as the exit pollsters are concerned at 6:41 p.m. this evening. The final voter turnout has not yet come through. If it is higher, if it is nearing the 80% number, there could be a revision, possible revision in these projections in favor of the Congress, in favor of the BJP. We do not know, but there could be an upward or a revision from some of these pollsters by the time we reach about 8 p.m. and the final voter turnout numbers also come in. So there is another number that has just come in. There's a CGS number that's come through. Let's quickly take a look at this number. This is the CGS exit poll. The CGS exit poll says, oh, clear mandate for the BJP, 114, 86 for the Congress party. Now, this is another projection which is, some people would say we'll take it. Others would say it's not possible because it's got to be the Congress party. But this is another second pollster who's actually giving BJP the mandate and not the Congress. So does this change the average 10 seats more than the last time for the Congress party in this one? Lavanya Balal, any thoughts quickly on the numbers that have come in so far?
No, some of these numbers are so not correct. It's incorrect. The numbers are incorrect. And I would like to point out, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji visited Bangalore, it solidified the BJP vote base. But then the neutral voters got really annoyed with the kind of restrictions that it put on average Bangalorean. Bangaloreans hate the traffic jams, and that intensified because of Modi ji's visit. And also it reinforced Modi ji's opinion that Kannadigas have, that he does not care about the state for the rest of the 5 years. He visited 10 times only during the election, went back complaining about our tigers, but he didn't visit the state during the floods, during COVID, or any other season.
Lavanya, so what about that open letter that the Prime Minister wrote, where he talked about the role of Karnataka in the $5 trillion economy, that when India becomes the 3rd largest economy, then Karnataka will play an important role. So, while, yes, the elections were being fought on polarizing issues because of the issue that was given to the BJP, I would say, on a platter by Mr. Kharge and also in your party manifesto, the fact is that it finally became about development. It was about the plan, the roadmap.
Maria, Karnataka is already the 2nd biggest GST payer in the taxpayer in the country.
Yes.
They are already a big player when it comes to economy of this nation. But what is the amount of GST that we get in return? It's pittance that we get back. Do you know how difficult it is for Karnataka to demand our own well-deserved GST monies back?
RP Singh, a response on that, please. Go ahead.
Well, she's forgetting on one thing. Karnataka